Boom, there's my rock. Family, friends, fellow gamers, educators, and students. Welcome to Grumpy Gnome Gaming. I am Grumpy Gnome. Let's get some grump on in Banished, baby. Here we go. Recreating Middle Earth in MegaMod 9. This is a collaboration with a couple of my viewers, one being Farmer Jane Doe and Marlene. And what they have suggested, because I reached out and asked for input, was what kind of theme can we put into next episode? And Farmer Jane came back and said she would like to see a continuation of the Happy 2025, which was our New Year launch. And unfortunately, I have already scrubbed those. So I made her a counter offer. I said, what if we do another 2025 and this time include all the celebrations? And she gave me the thumbs up on that. So that is one of our themes. We are actually going to build this map that I'm kind of calling Middle Earth with every one of the celebrations that's found in the Jinxie's mods. So we're going to have Halloween, Thanksgiving, we're going to have Christmas, we're going to have Easter, we're going to have Valentine's Day. And yeah, it's going to be a big party. And then Marlene said, why not go big or go home? And that is kind of a play on my always using small builds, small buildings, small nodes, minis, tinies, smalls. And so what I decided to do this time is wherever it is appropriate, I am going to put down the largest of the buildings available that fit. And this is the key right here. That fit the theme we're building in. So we may do a theme like Gothic. And if there's nothing large, we're not going to use it. But if there is something large, we'll try to put it into place. And you can already tell by my start right here with the old castle. It is probably the largest starting settlement that we can get. And to satisfy your curiosities, what am I running for mods? I am running all 7 parts of the MegaMod 9. And even though it comes up red here, it still does run. If you would like to run MegaMod 9 in your Banished game, you can find it in the Browse Workshop right here. You're just going to have to go looking for it. And usually it starts on page 2 or 3, and you may have to go to page 6, 7, 8 in order to get all the parts for it. You want to install them in order. So part 1 of 7 goes first, part 2 of 7, part 3 of 7, and so on. Once you get it done, you want to restart your game, or restart your computer, but make sure that everything is enabled. And you'll have a little spinning thing up here that tells you to enable the mods. Once you get them installed, restart, and then you should be able to play. And we're also doing the blue color radius instead of the yellow. My map seed. I'm running a town called Middle Earth. And it could be a play on Tolkien's, because I actually use Tolkien's name right here. So I'm citing my source and giving credit to where credit is due. So T is the 20th letter of the alphabet. Then I went to the L, which is the 12th letter. Then I went to the K, which is the 11th letter. And then we ended it with the N, Tolkien. And the N is the 14th letter. We're actually doing valleys because I needed something with mountains. I mean, the Misty Mountains. Come on, people. So, but I also needed some land to build on. So valleys actually gave me the best variety. I hope it goes well. I did not go extra large because extra large map was, I think we would be playing that until the end of the year. And I don't want to get too bogged down, no pun intended, into this one particular build. The uh, climate, I chose temperate. Now, temperate is a cooler climate than, say, marine or tropical. And so we're going to see a lot more snow than we are sunny days. Disasters, I don't know why I did this, probably because I love the abuse. We went for the disasters on. And if I do throw my laptop out the window, it's because the infestations are driving me nuts. And finally, our starting condition came from Colonial Charter, and it is the old castle with the hard setting. So we have no seeds, we have no animals for the pastures, and we have no orchards. So we are in survival mode right from the get go, and I actually planned on that. Without further ado, let's get into this game. We're going to get them running. I'm just going to hit the resume and hope it resumes, and then we'll see what happens from there. Okay, so as you can see, these are our little group of bannies right here. This is our old castle, which acts as both a stockpile and a storage barn, and this thing is huge. This thing holds a lot. So basically, this not only is our storage and stockpile, this is going to be our market for this area, but more on that later. The first thing we need to do is get some resources going. So I guess I can let the cat out of the bag. The first theme that I went with for our old castle is goth. So I went into the fleur-de-lis here, and right under here you got GF, which is Gothic Dark. You got Gothic Light. We're not using that. We are dark. We are dark people here. And then I'm not using Deco. I may have pulled something out of Farm. I don't think I did. And then we got the Tithe stuff over here. But the main menu is coming out of the Gothic here, except for housing. Because for some reason, Gothic housing, it uses a lot of stone. And I don't want to stress getting stone in the beginning. So I thought the best complement for Gothic would be the witches. So the witches is where we're pulling the coven cabins out of. And I actually did use the angled ones here because the angled ones are just freaking cool. They take up a larger footprint. If you go with the standard coven cabin, coven, call it what you want. I think it's coven. It's a 3x3 footprint. If you go up to the angled, it's a 4x4, but I really like the angled so much better. Oh my gosh. Stream Elements got it right this time. That's all it needed was a reset. So houses are coming out of witches. My storage is coming out of witches. And I think that's all I took. Everything else for the initial start is coming out of goth. So I am going to get my people running. My people, here we go. Let's see if we can run them at 5. And let's select a few resources for them to get right now. Since the majority of what I need is logs, I want to clear this first because this is actually where this is going to be where my initial start is, right here in this cluster. So let's get them running. And then while we got them running, I'm going to go, see, there's our snow. I'm going to go ahead and flip. I'm flipping, flip, 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 like this, because these are going to be the first things that we're going to open up over here. So I do need some housing, and as soon as I get the logs for it, I think I want to fill, let's do this block up here. So we're going to, I'm trying to think if that's where I wanted to go. I think it is. We can go here. I'm going to open up this house because we have the logs. And I want to open up, let's say, this house here. I don't need to babysit them. I'm just going to let them build at their leisure. Oh, and we need builders. I'm actually putting everybody as a builder. Because if they don't have anything to build, they will go into labor mode. Farmyard 01, that is our first plot. Over here, farmyard 02, that is our second plot. Down here, farmyard 06. Down here, farmyard 05. And right here, farmyard 09. These are our first resource getters. So, what do we mean by that? That means that this area here is going to feed and clothe us ASAP. Okay, we got one house built. How many do we have? 8. So I'm going to need 2 more houses. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pull this house here. And I'm going to pull this house here. Like that. Now, as soon as these get built, I need to start putting people into them. So in we go. Food, I do not play with limits on food. Because in this game, you can never have enough. Fuel, we'll start at 200, which is kind of different from what I normally do. Okay, we got 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go here, and we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that just filled all of those. Okay, I don't know how we're doing with resource gathering, so I'm going to go ahead and grab another little area of resources. And we can actually pull back a little bit more from here too. I'm also going to open up farmyard, nope, down here. We're going to open up farmyard 13. We are going to open up, oh, that's another cabin. Over here, farmyard 14 and farmyard 15. Okay, we are needing some firewood. So right over here next to the castle, I've got a little Celtic chopper, and we're going to go ahead and open that person up. So that our chopper can do some chopping. Yeah, this should be a really fun build. As soon as this area gets settled in, I will go back to the, okay, we got 9, which means I'm actually going to need another house. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a little, should we open one up down here? You know what? I think, yeah, let's open these up down here. So we got one more down here. Okay, the Celtic chopper is ready to go. Let's go ahead and put somebody in like that there. Now, we've already got Dala, who became a laborer, and we got a child named Rolandi. Rolandi is our first little baby. So, what are in these farm plots? I'm glad you asked. So I'm going to go ahead and pause for a second. And down here, if you go to the fleur-de-lis again, or fleur-de-lis, or however the French pronounce that, you got this little boot thing. Uh-oh, there's a job. And nope, I can't work on that day. Okay, so I don't know what this is, like a bean seed or something, or a cornucopia, or a boot, but you've got over here all these different farm plots. And for the first initial 5 that I opened, I picked the ones that were 5 by 5. So this one here makes apple, wheat, bean, egg, and firewood. This one here makes berries, corn, potatoes, eggs, and firewood. So I put the 2 firewood ones up here on the top. The next 5 by 5 makes pear, oats, milk, tools, and clothing. So we should not have a tool apocalypse in this game. If we have a tool apocalypse, something is seriously wrong. Number 2, we are not going to be a nudist colony. I know some of you are going, "Ah," but no naked bannies running around here. This is not Burning Man. Okay, next 5 by 5 plot is going to give us apple, oats, milk, and carrots. And then I got one more 5 by 5 here that's going to give us corn, tomatoes, peppers, and eggs. And if for some reason you're thinking Spanish breakfast, yeah, I can go for that. I think my latest biggest kick has been chilaquiles. Chilaquiles. So anyway, there is one more 5-5 over here, which is the Three Sisters. I did not include the Three Sisters because I think everything they offer, I'm getting out of the other 5. Now, if we come down here, I have 3 of the larger plots. These are I want to say they are the 6 by 8s. Now, this one here makes pork, leather, apples, and mushrooms. And this one is right over here. This is the pork. Now this one over here next to it is corn, milk, leather, and occasional beef. And I think the key word is occasional. It will not put out as much as pork. So to compensate for that, I dropped one more 6 by 8 under it, which is oats, milk, leather, and more occasional beef. So between the 2 beefs and the pork, we should be getting a lot of protein. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Now, I'm going to let them finish building. See, we got this one here, but I only have 3 more bannies that I can assign. And right here, I've got those 3 plots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them finish building these 3 plots and all of the houses we need for 9. If you want to do a simple house count, each house can have 2 adults. And 9 is the adults. Then the 0 is the students. And the 5 is the children. So once the children reach age 9, if they're not going to school, they automatically become uneducated laborers. I am not going to run uneducated laborers for long. Usually what I do is I wait for the first generation. Well, I can't even do that because I normally do Adam and Eve, and then I wait for Adam and Eve to pass. Then I have a whole other generation to bring up. Here, I have no idea what's going on. So I will bring in a school when it's comfortable to bring in a school. So let's go ahead and build this house and these 3 plots. And then we're going to be just waiting for the children to become laborers. By the way, if you guys have any comments or questions about what I'm doing here, by all means, leave them below. I do answer every single comment that I get. And I appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, we're waiting on... Okay, that's a farmland there with cows. How's my pork one coming along? We need more logs. Okay, let's go ahead and do a little bit more clear cutting. for resources. Why don't we grab this swath right here? That looks like a happy group. Yeah, they need to grab what they can grab right now, because once they get settled in, there's going to be nobody to gather resources until we get more laborers. I am really, wow, this is going to sound weird. I'm really into baby making. And what I mean by that is I like to keep my family and house ratio right on target. And sometimes what that does is it creates a really, do I not have houses down here? There it is. Yeah, but nobody's working here yet. Interesting. Well, we're going to wait for them to, I'm actually going to leave this one opened so we can see the progress on it. And yeah, I still need 4 here, so I'm not pulling anybody yet. And then as soon as I get these 3 builders put into their spots over here, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the at our production. Okay, I'm just waiting on this house right here. And this house here is going to house number 9 and number 10. Sounds like I'm naming off Slipknot members. Okay, now we just need the builders come over to put 42 wax into this thing. That almost sounded like, oh my gosh, what? Molly, is it Molly Hatchet? No, Lizzie Borden. Took an axe. And there it is. Boom. Okay, the house is built. So, everybody, you see these little housing things up here? That means 2 people are unhoused at this time. And that's going to go away right now. I'm going to take my 3 builders here, and I'm actually going to put them in here. 1, 2, 3. Now, every one of my farm plots has somebody working in it. And believe it or not, this is something you can't really say in this game, but we can take a breather. Right now, I am just waiting for kids to grow up and families to move out. And once they do that, then we can move on to bigger and better things. I could lay out some roads right now, but I don't want to, because if I lay roads out right now, as soon as we get builders, that's what they're going to want to do. They're going to want to build the roads. But like I said, let's look at our resources now. Up here, we still have 57 logs, so we can build stuff. We have 31 firewood, amount of firewood here. Plus, remember, we've got these 2 right here that are also producing firewood. So we're getting firewood for the homes. So we have, and here is food, 1,782. So we got food, we've got shelter, and we've got warmth. So we've got the 3 necessities in life right now. Everything is happy in Middle Earth. I guess I can give you guys a little tour of what we're looking at here. And I don't want to let them run because, well, let's see, how far are you? There's our 2 adults here. Okay, a 9-year-old, as soon as Donovan or Donavani turns 10, he is going to join the labor force. And is this a female down here? Oh my gosh, no, they are already hooked up over here. Okay, where is my weird count coming from? What are you? There we go. We got a worker here. This worker is ready to move out. Up here. Ooh, that is not a good combination. So are you a female worker? Yes, you are. Technically, this female worker should move into the house above in a perfect world. And did we look at both of these? That is also a mismatch right there. Yeah, that's not cool. Because that's preventing the worker from moving out. So a little trick that this game has is you can actually force people out of their homes and have new people resettle into those homes. So you take the remove. So I'm going to take this one out. I'm going to take this one out, and I'm going to take this one out, but we're not going to destroy them. All we're going to do is get the people out. Once the people are out, then we're going to reclaim the houses. So reclaim, and look at that. We got a better family there. Reclaim, that's a better family. And reclaim, boom. And there is our 12-year-old worker who finally got kicked out of her house. And that's how that works. Okay, let's go ahead and do the pause. Do-da, do-da. Okay, what we're going to do now, I'm going to show you the map of Middle Earth. What are we dealing with here? I did have the extra large one up, and it was just too intense to work with. So I'm going to give you kind of a rundown on what's going on over here. Obviously, one of the biggest areas of Middle Earth are the Misty Mountains. And we got this huge mountain bulging thing right here in the center. And this is kind of how the Misty Mountains run, right through the center of Middle Earth. So that's going to be what this is going to represent. Down here in the very lower right, this is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, no, it's not Isengard. It's Mordor. I think it might be Mordor down here in the southwest. And there are a couple lakes out here to the southwest also. So this worked out well. I mean, it's not perfect Middle Earth, but this is as perfect as we can get. Up here to the northeast, this is Elven country. This is where the Lorien Forest is. And if you remember the Trents, the Tree Men, and the Wood Elves, this is going to be Wood Elf Forest Haven up here. The human grounds, the humans are kind of all over the place. There's Helm's Deep, there's Gondor, there's Rohan. So, I guess we're kind of settling in a human ground here in the center. I do know that the dwarves, the Mines of Moria, are a little bit to the north. So probably in this area here and in this area here, we're going to put the dwarves. So we got the elves over here. We've got the dwarves over here. The middle is probably going to be human. Isengard is probably going to be in this area around here. I'm going to have to think that one out, because they're taking the hobbits to Isengard. And so Isengard is going to be some kind of a orky outpost. And Mordor is going to be kind of orky, quirky build also. And then finally, we've got the Shire, our hobbits. And I'm probably going to get the hobbits in this area right here. This will be our Shire, where everything is going to come out of the Hobbits mod. So that is going to be my recreation of Middle Earth. I know it's not perfect, so don't slam me for that, but if you appreciate it, give me a like, leave me a comment, follow me on Twitch, subscribe to me on YouTube. Boom. All right, let's get going. We're waiting for people now. As you saw, now all of the homes have perfect families. And as soon as they start moving out, okay, another child was born. You might want to keep an eye on our numbers here. You can already see firewood is going up, food is going up, tools, we still have 15, clothing is 8. Everybody is happy. And like I said, this thing is just freaking huge. The old castle here. You can already see the variety of stuff that we're bringing in. And it doesn't stop there. We can actually scroll down here. So we're getting a little bit of everything. The one thing I do want to concentrate on is stone. And believe it or not, the next thing that we're going to open up is actually a stone producer. So I'm going to flip for perspective. And when I say that, I'm actually bringing it back to its original facing. I guess that's the right word. Up here against this mountain, I got 3 old mines. These are going to be our stone, iron, and coal producers. I'm going to go ahead and open up this first mine right here, and we're going to start producing more stone. Because remember, the Gothic buildings, which are down here, they need a lot of stone. I do have a laborer here. I'm going to put that laborer into builder mode, and that way that laborer is only going to focus on the mine. Hopefully they're not picking up resources. If for some reason you suspect that they are picking up resources, you can always prioritize the building. But it looks like they're clearing out what's here, which is good. Good, 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 good. Yeah, these farm plots over here were our lifesavers. This allowed us to get off to this awesome start that we have right now. And we're not stressing anything. Right now, the game could not run smoother. Also, if you're thinking about picking up Banished, you can get this game for as little as $6, $6.99, something like that, on Steam, or you can go to the Banished website and get it there. And as you saw, all the mods, if you want to expand your game, are built in. The developers, well, this is a developer, singular, actually created this game back in 2014. And if I'm not mistaken, his brother was the one who produced the music, the soundtrack for it. But single developer, 2014, this got a fan base. Okay, there's my mine. I do have another laborer. So guess where you're going? If you said in the mine, you would be correct. And there's my stone that I want to start building up. So anyway, this game has such a fan base that other independent developers took it upon themselves to create all of these expansion mods for this game. The first one was the Colonial Charter, and then that expanded to Colonial Charter Journeys. And then after Journeys, we got a huge 95 mod upgrade to MegaMod 0.06. And after MegaMod 0.06 came around, Red Ketchup came out and put something out. And then after Red Ketchup, I can't say who, I don't know who this person is, or maybe it was a conglomerate of developers, got together and put out MegaMod 9. And this is the mother of all mods. if you load it into your game the way I told you to, and you open it, it is going to take quite a while to open. You're going to have black screen. Just be patient. Go get yourself a drink, make yourself a hot dog, and when you come back in, say, a minute or two, the game will be loaded and ready for you to go. But you got to be patient because it really takes a while for the game to load. We can get rid of that. 11, I need another house. Because remember, I have 5 houses. That's for 10. Now that I have 11, somebody else is ready to move out. And I think I'm going to go ahead and open up this neighbor down here. And this other laborer, I don't know why I have. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make both of them builders because I really want this house done ASAP. And if you can keep the ratio of families to houses even, you are going to have a steady production of babies. That doesn't sound right, does it? That sounds like something AI would create. Not only are you going to have a steady production of babies, you are going to exponentially increase your population. Now we've got 173 firewood. We've got 5,800 food. The tools are hovering right at 9. And we've still got 17 clothes. Perfect. You can't ask for a better start than this. Okay, now we've got 12 here. So as soon as this gets built, we should have 2 adults living, well, right here. 2 adults should be living in this house. And don't freak out when you see the ages. Come on, guys, move in. There we go. So we got Crocky. Crocky, that sounds like, what is that? That's almost like an Australian thing. Crimey. Crocky. Crocky is 10 years old. Crocky's wife, Venia, is 12 years old. Oh my God, she's a cougar. So anyway, believe it or not, don't freak out. They're going to start making babies. So that's just the way this game is. You have to consider the time period here. So, I didn't make this game. Don't yell at me. So, anyway. Yeah, perfect. 12, 6 houses. 1 up here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Everybody working right here, central, and getting their supplies right from the old castle. I don't want to jinx it, but this might actually turn out to be one of my best streams. Hopefully. We're still kind of cruising here. Our wood, remember we had that max at 200. I'm probably going, oh wait, I got 2 builders? Why do I have 2 builders? Well, that's good because they're going to go ahead and clear cut our area around here. So why don't we go ahead and get some more outside resources for removal. And we'll go ahead and do another clear cut. That's pretty good right there, I guess. You know what? Let's do this. Let's start over there and come this way. And I don't want to go too far over. That's good right there. And they're gonna clear cut this area. And I've got them set for picking up all the resources. So they're going to be getting iron ore, stone, They're going to pick up wild foods. They're going to get logs. I don't know if they pick up branches for fire, or they call it dead wood. I don't know. They might. Let's take a look and see. Anything here say, well, there's our firewood, but it would be either under branches, which I don't see, or it would be under dead wood, which I also don't see here. I'm going to go ahead and open up a couple of the other small buildings that we have here. For instance, this guy here, this is our smitty. Let's go ahead and open the smitty up. That way, if we do start running low on tools, remember, the bigger our population gets, the larger the population, the more tools they're going to start going through. And I don't want to get to the point where we have the tool apocalypse where we run out of tools. So they're going to build the smitty. And actually, I'm going to go ahead after they build this and open up mine number 2. And this one is going to start producing iron. I'm going to try to stay away from rough tools. And any iron ore that we are collecting is going to be smelted. If I can avoid rough tools, I will. I want to keep iron tools coming in. And the farm plot that makes the tools, this guy right here, this one produces iron tools. So our smitty is built. We got 60 stone. Well, I want to get the mine going, and I want to put one person into the mine. So I can already tell you my next house is probably going to be this one right here, this little yellow icon. And as soon as we hit 13 right there for the adults, I'm going to open up that house. This is also different from me to do a stream in the afternoon, because up until, say, 6 o'clock in the morning, this morning, I was going to do a morning stream. Then a job came in. Oh, there we go. We got the laborer. We got number 13. So you're going in to get iron. And because we got the 13, we are going to open up the next house right here. Boom. Tool limit, we'll keep it at 50 for now. If your workers hit their limit of whatever they're producing, they will default to laborers. And another thing I might want to start doing is getting some roads put in. The roads will allow them to travel faster from point A to point B. And we may do that as soon as they build this house. I guess we could have kept it open so we can see the production on it. Yeah, I couldn't use the Gothic houses only because they all demanded way too much stone, and we would not have that in our initial build. And she done, she boom, she boom. And right there, Odalin is our 13th adult at the age of 10. Go figure. Awesome. God, I love it when things run smooth in this game. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. So, I think what I want to do is probably lay out the roads in our farm plot first. And since we're just kicking back and watching this thing go, I'm going to flip. I'm flipping. Flip, 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 flip. And why don't we go ahead and get some road action here. So I'm going to start here in the middle of the castle, and we'll come out and around like that. We'll come around down the outside like this, will come around this face here like that. We'll come up and then we'll come back inside the castle like that. Now, let's go down and create some little barriers here. That road's going to come down to there. This road is going to come down to there. And we can bring this road around the corner. Where's our corner at? There it is. Boom. And then this one over here is going to come down around the corner. Boom. And then we're going to come down around the corner. Boom. We might as well go all the way through to there. This one here is going to come all the way down and around here. This one's going to come around and go up here. This is going to connect there. And I have a road running through the middle of this. Now, the interesting thing about these are they have what I like to call inserts. So they have little road pieces actually built into them. And it's not necessary to do this, but it kind of makes it look a little bit nicer. There's that. Oh, this is my my barn. I did put a storage barn here so that the oh my God, we have a tool apocalypse. Look at that. Well, Smitty, guess what? You are going to start making some iron tools. Oops, wrong one. We need a worker. Boom. Okay. And he just picked up a tool. No, he didn't pick up a tool. Well, he got a tool. Our miner over here is toolless. But you know what? It's all good. They'll get caught up here. What are you maxed out on? Fuel. Okay, you know what? Let's kick fuel up to 300 and see if these two down here can manage that by themselves. Let's finish putting some inserts in. Really? That's all you have is one straight... Oh, there we go. I was going to say, you got to have more than one straight through the middle. Okay, what do you got over here? Nothing? 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 Oh, there's something. There and there. And that's it for you. And what do you got? You got there and there. And is that it for you? Awesome. And now down to the big ones. What do you got? You got there to there. That's it. And is that all? By golly, that's it. And what do you got? There to there. You got any more? Nope. Is that all? That is it. Awesome. We're done. All of a sudden, we got 9 tools now. Okay, we'll take 9 tools. And did we ever... Good, we're still making iron tools. Because I don't want to deal with... rough tools. Okay, 14 adults. We should have 7 houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. So we had a little hiccup with the tools, but you know what? So be it. No harm, no foul. And you know what? If it helps, why don't we go ahead and... Oh, wow, we got more people that we can assign jobs to. Okay, oh, we got 15. We need another house. So let's go ahead and finish this community over here. This is actually a little group of 4 houses right here. And I think it might behoove of us to start building some of the stuff that we have in this area over here. Like that. Okay, what are you guys maxed out on? Textiles. Okay. You know what? Why don't we take textiles to no limit? And you guys are going to see my reasoning for this. Also, the tools. I think I'm going to take the tools to no limit also. So clothing, we don't want to limit. Tools, I don't want to limit, because if we get too much, if we have too much excess of one commodity, we will go ahead and put it into a trading post and trade it. On the note of trading posts, I'm going to flip. Right over here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tiny traders. I know I said I wasn't going to do tiny stuff, but here this allowed me to get 4 in, and I am already rethinking this for maybe something a little larger. Let's pause for a second and see what our options are here, because we might just want to put something larger in. And so the first place I'm going to look, of course, is in the Goth menu. This doesn't have a trader, but if you go over here to the Goth tithes, they do have this trader right here. And you know what? By golly, Miss Molly, I think we're going to go large. Let's do it. That was the whole theme behind this, was to go large or go home. And I actually picked these 2 small traders, the tinies, because I initially had them in our fishing area. But I did not want them obstructing too much water that was there. And we do have a bridge going across right here. Has anybody seen the bridge? So what I'm probably going to do here is we're going to put one of those large trading ports here, and we're going to put another large trading port here. And I just have to see how they line up. So we're going into the tithes. We're going to grab the trader, and we're going to do the flippy thing because we want the arrow to the top. That's against the bridge. I usually like to leave at least 1 space like that. And how far up can I go? And the reason I'm doing this, okay, I know why I put the tiny trader in. I put the tiny trader in oh, doggone it. I put the tiny trader in because of the ring of influence here. Now, I am not really concerned with an herbalist because he's got enough area to work with. The ones that I'm really concerned with are the gatherer and the hunter. So the hunter comes down to here. So even if we impede here, it's still a good area for him, so I'm not really concerned. Let's go ahead and put those 2 large ones in right here. And there's our first, which is going to go, I'm going to skip 1. And how high can I go? Right to there. Do we want to go that high? Let's see. I'm going to go across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, can't go there. Come down 1. There. Skip 1. Yep, right there. So that's our golden ticket right there. So you're going in. Oh, wait, do we have different facades? Yes, we do. Oh, I'm going dark. Yeah, we're going dark. There we go. So boom. And then going dark. And we're coming over here. do, 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 do. All right, guys, don't let me down that I skipped here because I just wanted it to be pretty. And I'm going to go ahead and put a pause. They need 40. Actually, that's not a lot. I'm going to put this one on pause. I may open this one. What do our resources look like? We've got resources. Well, no, trader is not the most important thing right now. That's where we're going to start dumping our excess stuff. But I'm glad that we looked at that because we actually kept to the theme of going large. Now, let's keep them running. Where are we going from here? Probably, what are we maxed out at? Fuel. Okay, you know what? Why don't we take fuel to 1,000? You know what? Doggone it. No limit. If we get too much fuel, we'll trade it. Don't need the stone bridge up here. And how are we doing for housing? 15. So 16 is 8. We need 8 houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're still golden. Now there is one building down here I probably want to open up sooner than later, and that is the keep. The keep here, that acts as our town hall. It is the keeper of records, and it is a lot easier to look at this for resources and commodities than it is to keep clicking on the old castle. And since we have the resources to build this, I'm going to go ahead I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to go, you know what? There we go. 3 builders. Drink time. Waterloo. Am I sponsored by Waterloo? No. If you want to sponsor me, Waterloo, give me a call. Oh my God, and the keep is getting built. Oh, and this little booger right here. This is our first celebration. Remember, we're going all celebrations. This is the Halloween, because that's our next coming holiday. Well, it's not a holiday, but doggone it, some people celebrate it. Celebration in the park. We're going to build them all. So, because we're going goth and witches, I thought this was the appropriate one. Where do I find these? You come down here to this little community toolbar. You go to your Jinxie's mods. Click on that. Go all the way here to Jinxie's miscellaneous. Click on that. And then right here, these are your festival park sets. So we have a Biddy Village Park, which we can put someplace. We've got a Easter celebration in the park. We have wedding celebration in the park. And we have our Thanksgiving. There's our Halloween. And we have Christmas. There we go. That's where we get them from. Okay, the keep is getting built. And this is going to be really cool because then we're going to get a better idea of what kind of resources we have. Probably going to put a cemetery. Oh, I don't want to remove structures. I want to remove resources. We're probably going to put a cemetery right in this area here because this is our cathedral. So let's do a little clear cutting of this area, like right to there. And I'm going to lay out a little bit more road just so I can see what I'm working with here. So this is going to come down. I may as well come all the way down with it. And yeah, I guess we are coming all the way down, aren't we? Boom. Okay. And where can we split you off? Right there. And then I want to come up like that. And then I got a couple butchers over here that I'm going to come around. Uh-oh, it's not letting me come around my butchers. Oh, that's because I've got resources to be removed. Do. But we are going to have to do a little bit of flattening in this area here. I think I had a 7 by, was it a 7 by 15? Let's see if we can kind of figure out what we had. So there's our Gothic cemetery. I don't want to hit my butcher, so down 1. And I'm going to clear. Do I want to come all the way down? That is the question. A 10 by 13. I think I had a 7 by 15. Yeah. 7 by 15. So as soon as they get those resources out of there, we'll go ahead and we'll just make that area flat, and then we'll be able to put the cemetery in. As a matter of fact, if I go ahead and choose my friendly flattener, not the grumpy one, the friendly one, it will collect the resources. It will collect the resources and then flatten out once it's done. That's kind of my indicator that it's ready to go. And we might actually get the cemetery put in before the okay, now it's see how it dropped right there? That means it's flat. We can remove it. And this is still kind of bothering me, these butchers, because I should have been able to build a road around them. There's that. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Okay, I must have been hitting something. Okay, where's this thing end? Right there? Okay. Nope. And there should be a road between here. And there should be an insert here. And another insert here. And that's it. Nope. There. Okay. Now do the same over here. Come across. There. Come up. There. And that should be it. And then once we get some serious stone production coming in, then we're going to go ahead and once the serious stone production kicks in, then we're going to, I'm trying to figure out what's closer, this house to here or this one over here. Let's do this one down here, only because we've got a lot more stuff that's going to get opened up. Okay, the laborers might not have anything to do, so I'm going to get them some more resource clearing going on. And where can we clear? We can actually take what's down here. We can take it away, take it away, take it away now. Is there anything on the point? Nope. And we can go a little higher over here. So let's grab that little tree and maybe come up to there. And then we can come a little bit more to this side. And why don't we take this to the creek, to there, and to there. I am going to let them build this little creek plank bridge here, just because if I accidentally send somebody over here, I don't want them to get stranded. On that note, I'm also going to open up this bridge down here, because this is kind of our main thoroughfare right here. It's kind of Main Street. So we are going to open this one as well. This thing takes a lot of stone. Oh, by the way, I'm doing stone bridges. And I'm doing stone tunnels. And if you haven't guessed it yet, eventually all of our roads are going to be stone. Okay, is it time to start sending kids to school? Let's find out here. There's our keep right here. And the overview, this is what I'm looking at here. Families and homes. 9 and 9. We're perfect. We are perfect. So, inventory. You can go by name or you can go by quantity. So right now, we have got a metric crap ton of apples. So we've got 5,000 plus. So apples is our highest producer right now, followed by corn, followed by pork. Why is this awesome? Because here is the vitamin C. Here is the starch. So this is the fruit. This is the starch. The pork is the protein, followed by a second protein. Now you see the beef here is 1980, and we've got two things producing beef. That is the occasional beef. Pork over here, 21, still out producing beef. Then we've got another starch at oats, and then we've got another fruit here. After that comes dairy. We're starting to get some dairy coming in. So you can kind of see that we've got all the food groups covered. There is one thing we're not bringing in yet. I'm going to minimize this because I always like to keep this at a quick grab. One thing that we're not doing yet is fishing. So here's my fishing dock when we finally do start fishing. And I have another one on that point over there. And 10. Should we start education? Let's start opening up some things over here. Oh, the butchers. Yeah, over here. We need lumber. These butchers, I got a pig butcher and I've got a, you guessed it, a cow butcher. These need lumber. So we're going to have to build a lumber mill or a sawmill. And I didn't go for the sawmill because the lumber mill here is kind of a huge building. And so we're going to do lumber mill. This thing is going to get us some lumber. And then we'll be able to start building the butcher shops. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm coming down here into there. Actually, I think I'm coming around both of these into there. We may or may not put another stockpile running down here. Probably not because of these houses that are here. That would not be too cool. Okay. So as soon as they get we need 5. Okay, there you go. As soon as we get the lumber yard built, we're going to put one person in there to start making lumber for us. And then we're going to, oh my gosh, we should probably also consider a cemetery. Because very rarely am I able to get very rarely do I get a cemetery built before I lose one of our first founders. And that's sad. So let's go ahead and see if we can throw in a cemetery. And then they can build it at their leisure. And that's going to go 7 by 15 because actually that really is a good build size. And then I'm going to rotate the opening around if I can find it. Oh, wait, I'm in the, why am I, oh, 6 by 16? No, I want to go 7 by 15. And there's my, I kind of want the opening right there. Exactly, perfect. You see how it opens to the left? What I'm looking at is this thing. Boom, those gates, gates, gates. And I think right there is probably the most welcoming place for them. So guess what? Cha-ching. We just put that in. And I'm going to let them build that at their leisure also. How are we doing for housing? 17. I think we were looking good with housing. Okay, they've got nothing better to do right now than to build roads. And I'm not upset. They're just going to move. That moves them faster. Did we ever open the bridge? We did. There is our stone bridge in all of its majesty. I'm going to flip. Flip, 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 flip. In all of its majesty going in. And look who comes. A woman. So, there is our awesome stone. That kind of looks like London Bridge. But you know what? I'm happy with that. Oh, she's not done yet. Okay. You know what? At least she finishes her job. She is better than I am. Because once I start something, I have difficulty finishing. But that is a mighty fine looking bridge right there. Even the duck is checking it out. Saying, hey man, this might be my home. So anyway, let's make the thing a little bit bigger. I'm going to flip again. Flipping. Flip, 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 flip. And I guess, okay, we got this lip right here. I am not crazy about these lips on the bridges. So what I like to do is I like to take the grumpy flattener and actually come in and maybe go 2 or 3 pixels in and flatten it. Boom. That takes the ground level up to the bridge level. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same on this side over here. So we got 1. No, I don't. Yeah, 2. No, we can't remove structures. We want grumpy flattener. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Boom, flatten that. And that removes any lip that is on the bridge. I'm probably not going to remember to do that to all of them. And let's see, what else can we build over here? Okay, we lost 2. You know what? Why don't we say when we get a population of 20 adults, we'll open a school. And if I want to hit that mark, I should probably start the school right now. So it looks like they're going to finish the lumber yard. When they finish the lumber yard, they can get started on the school. Oh, we're going to need a lot more stone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up into my mine here, and I'm actually going to kick it up to 2 workers. Look at our tools. We went from a tool apocalypse of 0 to 41 now. So that's telling me the one miner in here is putting out enough. Awesome. Okay, here we go. Lumberyard. Right here, we can make lumber out of logs, we can make lumber out of hardwood, and we can make firewood out of logs. We don't need firewood at this time. What we need is the lumber so that we can make those 2 butcher shops. So I'm putting somebody in. Construction limit, I'm actually going to take that to 1 less than a million because I can always sell those items if I have to. I want my roads. I just want to see if this has any inserts. No, it doesn't. But you know what does? The mines. So what are they building? The school. So let's go ahead and see how their production comes along here. We may want to help them out a little bit by, instead of getting all the resources, we're going to focus on only stone. And why don't we go ahead and pull some stone out of the node that we have going over here. So I'm just going to do a big old, I see a lot of it up here. Yeah, that's a nice area. Why don't we start with this little bit right here? And we might just want to grab this little group down here as well. Go ahead and make everybody a builder, because if there's nothing to build, they will go into laborer mode. Also, if they max out on their resources, they will go into laborer mode as well. How are we doing for families? Do we need another house? Oh, we need 2 more houses. Look at that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the other one over here that's next to the mining camp that we have up here. And we need 1 more. So I guess, you know what? Maybe we're going to start getting this node into production. So instead of opening up this one, why don't we open up 2 in our node? And we can already get people living out here. And I think the next thing we're going to do is get this area populated. I'm going to put a pause on the cemetery for now, only because I want them to concentrate on the housing. The reserve of logs is low. Well, you know what? You're not wrong. It is low, but that doesn't bother us any. Marlene is going to be very happy to see this up here, because this is actually a dense tree shack. And I'm almost wondering if we should open that up. Let's get our school going first, because I want to get our kids into, get them an education. And hopefully they're all pulling stones right now. Yeah, stones has got to be the priority. So let's go ahead and do this. I don't know if this even works on on resources or not, but we're going to grab those. And I think we wanted to pull something out of this area back here. Do, 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 do. All right. So we know we need 2 houses. Go ahead and just minimize that for now. The school. Wow, 1 more stone for the school. Can we get it? Can we get one? There she is. And now we're going to get the builders in there. 3 builders are going to put this thing together. And they got the foundation up. They got the framing done. They're banging it together right now. Come on, 20 more whacks. 20 more whacks. You can do it. And look at that. We got 20 and 10. So you guessed it. First thing we're doing is we're putting in a teacher. And actually, watch what I do here. I'm not only going to pull 1 builder, I'm actually pulling 2. And the reason for that is you want to have a buffer of at least 1. Because if your teacher dies and your teacher has students, all of those students get thrown into the labor force as uneducated workers. And as you can probably guess, educated workers are higher producers. Their production rate is much higher. I don't want to say much higher. I have heard 25% more production, and I've also heard 50% more production. So don't quote me on a number, but those are the 2 that I've heard. So we're going to go ahead and put a teacher in, and I'm going to leave 1 laborer as a buffer in case something happens with our teacher. I know I was going to do some framing around this. The way I've got this laid out is these are spaced. And did we go all the way? Yeah, we went all the way over. These are, I got a big opening right here in the center because what I want to do in the center is actually maybe put a well in right here. Kind of give them a, like a little center point. And that is the extent of my decorating capabilities. So don't bash me on that. Here, whoops, here we're going to go ahead and draw a, let's draw a road coming straight through. I'm going to come around this and come on down to there. You're going to get a road here. You are going to get a double road. Actually, it's a triple road there. And you're going to get a space there. Do, 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 do. 47 tools. Okay, but we still have this log crisis going on. And I'm debating, where do I want to start pulling? Oh my God, this is probably where it's coming from. Do we have enough lumber to build these 2? Because once the butchers start working with the pork and beef, then we're going to get finer cuts of beef, which go much further in the game. Do, 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 do. Kind of like in real life, you know, you're going to pay for the finer cuts. I'm actually going to go around here. Boom. There, now we have encompassed the whole area here. Do, 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 do. I'm seriously debating about clearing this area out over here And looking at all this iron ore, once this node starts operating, if we don't clear this iron ore out, the node will pick it up. And I don't want all of this iron ore in our inventory. So we may have to open a small smelter and fuel refinery on this side, the north side of the river, because our south side of the river, it's going to take a while for us to get down there, but I got the big things going in. Like right over here, we've got a fuel refinery going in. Over here, I've got a foundry going in. And those are the larger items in the game. So they're going to fit in well. That's why I got us access over here. There's also going to be some more bridges around this. I think I got one right here coming across. So this is really going to be industrial central right here. And over here, I've actually got a coal shack going in. I've got a stone shack going in and iron ore. Why did I go iron ore? Because I don't want to cheat and go straight for the iron. Don't quote me on that though, because the little devil on my shoulder is saying, get rid of the iron ore and just go straight for the iron. We'll see. That shall be determined. Then our foundry can concentrate on other things besides the what do you call it? I'm going to go straight logs here, and I'm going to come off of this road and just grab this pile right here. I know I'm going into my node, but you know what? They're going to be able to plant fresh stuff. We're never going to be at a point where we absolutely need something. If we are at a point where we absolutely need something, we'll go ahead and open up a trading post and just hope that the stuff comes in that we need. I know my logs are low. You don't have to tell me. Oh my God, why did we build this bridge? Did I actually unpause it? Oops. Did not mean to do that. Doggone it, doggone it, doggone it. And I'm seeing something over here now. I did not compensate for this road coming down here. So that's another thing I need to put in. Actually, it looks like I could have brought the cemetery a little bit further over also. Let me see what I can do with this road over here, because this is going to come... Where is it? Is this one coming straight down? Or is this coming straight down? Why don't we bring... Because I can't really build anything else there. So this might look nicer if that came down. And I do have, oh my God, 2 more? Okay, so why don't we come down 3 by... Where would 15 take us? I don't need to go 15. What if we came down to here? Oh, nuts. I got to do some measuring here. Well, let's try this. We know we need to take out 3 more. So I'm going to get the grumpy flattener because there's no resources. I'm actually going to line up on the road here and come down to wherever I think it's going to look pretty. Why don't we just go off of this? So where are we at? 14? We can do 14. So 3 by 14. We just did that. Okay, so I'm going to take that out. Now I'm going to drop 2 more down. 3 by 14. So these need to go 15 by 2. And see, what I'm really careful of is I don't want to mess up my shoreline too much. Otherwise, it just looks wonky. And the last thing I need to do is grab the flattener and come off of this bridge that I didn't expect them to build and come into this area here. Like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Now let's go ahead and build this thing out again. Why don't we start with the road, and we're coming down from there, and we're going to come around the corner. Oh, nuts on a biscuit. No, I did come all the way down. Well, that's interesting. Why does it want to do that? That is interesting. Let's work with that for now. And we'll figure something out there. Maybe put something decorative against the wall right there. I'm going to take out the cemetery because we need to make it larger. So let's go ahead and go to the goth set again, which is right there, and then come on down. And now we can actually go 9 by 15, and the gates are still where we want them. So you know what? Cha-ching. We're putting that in. I'm going to put a pause on it for now because the next thing I really want built are they built the houses. Now notice I did not angle these. The reason I didn't angle these is because we're actually in a node, and I did not want to put 4 by 4 footprints in when I could do 3 by 3s. So these are going to be a little bit narrower. Okay. For those of you that know the way that I play, normally once I get an area going, I open up everything in that area. And I think we're going to do that with this node here. So let's go ahead and get the forester, which is right here. And yes, I went with all the wild things. Notice I took a large forester. I didn't do a small one like I normally do. So we're going to get an all the wild things one open. Next to that, we have a gathering hut, full size gathering hut. Down here, we've got the hunter, also full size. And then next to that, an herbalist. Let them build it. And they're going to need storage because I don't want them running all the way to the castle when they can just drop their stuff off right here. I'm probably going to put another storage on this side once we start going to the west. And then this right here is a well, which we're not going to need it right now, but we will need it eventually. As soon as more population comes in, the next 2 houses we build are going to be these 2 right here, because that way we can fully man or woman our node out here. And then once this thing starts producing, then we're golden. I think the next thing I might concentrate on is our dense tree shack up here. Only because I want to start getting some trees, more logs into our inventory. And this guy might just give us the shot in the arm that we need. You can see over here that they're already clearing the resources that were under the buildings. And you know what else we're going to do here? I'm going to run the road out to them already. See, the road goes through the storage barn. And why don't we take it to the well? No, I lied. Let's take it all the way out to here. But we will go around the well. Oh, stop. I got something that's getting removed right there. Yeah, that would have driven me nuts. Boom. We need to wait for them to take away whatever that is before I could put that little patch of road in. Doot, 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 doot. Yeah, as much as I want to open up that dense tree shack right now, I'm holding off because I want the node done first over here. Believe it or not, we've already got 3 students. That's awesome. So once those children reach the tender age of 16, they are going to join our workforce as educated laborers. And actually, we can keep the, if we can keep the education flowing, eventually we're going to get a 100% educated workforce. But that, unfortunately, is going to mean that we're going to have some of our founders dying off. It won't be the founders. They come in educated, but it's their children that they had that are going to be uneducated. Okay, we got one of them built over here. I still need the labor force. So you know what? I'm not going to put these people in. I need them building this. That's weird. I'm watching this right here, and they're actually going around that tree. It's like nobody wants to take out the tree. Watch this. Around it, around it, around it. Wouldn't it be easier to take the tree out and just walk straight? Come on, guys. Can we talk about efficiency here? Somebody take out the tree. We need the tree. Come on, people. They're like ants, you know. Once you break up an ant trail, they all find another direction to go. Oh well, doesn't matter. Okay, we got some foundations going in out here. That is good. Stone is still an issue. Also, iron is at 0. Hey, they took out the tree. Now nobody wants to pick up the logs. Come on, somebody pick up the logs. Oh well, maybe not. So anyway, Yeah, this is going to be nice. Once this node goes in over here, then this area is going to be self-sufficient. And stockpiles. That's another thing that we were going to talk about for this area out here. One thing that I like to do with my stockpiles is kind of run them up to the. I do not know who was the one who coined the phrase conveyor belt system, but it's kind of what we're going to do with the stockpiles. Uh-oh, why can I not put a road there? Oh, I must have a house or something going there. Okay, so we'll bump it to there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab my stockpile, and I usually come one in from the house. So there's the house. I leave a space, and then I start here. And why is it not letting me go there? Something is. Oh, I'll bet you there's a hill right there. Because look at this formation. Yeah, I will bet you we've got a hill. No, that's my storage barn, silly. Right there. And then now let's take this to that point. And where's my barn? There. Take this to that point. Now, I don't know if the if one on each side is actually going to be enough. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do something here since this looks a little bit wonky up here. Why don't we take that one out? And I'm actually going to put in a double stockpile here. Kind of like what we did right here in this area where it's too wide. So there, there. Where's my barn? There it is. 1, 2. Yeah, 2. There's that. Space it. Boom. Come too wide right to there. And that's going to be a nice healthy stockpile of what these guys are going to produce out here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, we can already put somebody in, but you know what? Right now I need my builders. We need the logs, and you can see that they're clearing them over here. And believe me, they're not clearing them fast enough. Also, you probably noticed that our adults, our laborer here, has stayed on 20. That's because everybody that would have become a laborer is now a student in school. So we have 5 students in our school right now. Right here. There they are in all of their majesty, getting an education. And I broke my own rule of leaving a buffer right there. Because if that teacher dies, then all 5 of those students become uneducated. So there's my buffer. If we wanted to micromanage our people, another thing we can do is look at what we're overproducing. Apples. You know what? They're getting a tavern. We're going to give our people a tavern. And that's right here. Cha-ching, the Midnight Heart. Isn't that dark sounding? So the Midnight Heart is going to be a tavern, and we're going to turn apple into ale because we have so much of it here. Once we get those two butchers open, they're going to work on this beef and pork and make us some bacon, making bacon, and some nice beef cuts. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to go node. We don't need the tavern. We want the tavern. We don't need it. I'm almost thinking the tree shack is more important. So we might go node, tree shack, and then we'll entertain the butchers and the tavern. Okay, we're getting our buildings built out here, which is good. Let's see what's holding us up here. Oh my gosh, you have no logs yet. And how you doing? You're almost there. Now we went to 7 students. We're not building the cemetery, no, not yet. Okay, I saw that they did this. I'm turning off our lumber here. We don't need any more lumber at this point. So that just gave us one more person in our labor force, which is good. I'm also thinking about pulling our woodcutter here because I think he's cutting up all the logs that we're getting. So that's kind of counterproductive. And I'm going to put him in as a builder. Oh my God, they built the our storage here already. And they're working on the hunting cabin out here. Yeah, it's been a long time since I ran a full-size node. Normally, I'm running smaller buildings. But this set here, this kind of filled the theme where it's kind of dark, it's kind of large, and it's kind of gray. So I thought the gray would really fit in well with the witches and the goth scene. I don't know if that was the best placing for the storage. We may have been better off putting the storage somewhere in the middle here. Ooh, but it's all good. It is all good. There's our foundation. And I think what we're going to do once these get in is I'm going to kick all of these down to only one worker. One. Okay. Hunter, one. And forester, we're going to come down to one. And then that way, okay, everything is built. Perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're actually going to populate our node. I don't know about the herb thing, but you know what? It can't hurt. I mean, we're still rocking 5 hearts over here. There we go. And in a perfect world, these 4 workers are going to be living right here in these 2 houses. In a perfect world. And actually, they're going to take care of the rest of this node area. What we might want to do, don't have to, but is go through here just to see what kind of inserts they have. And that's it. You only get 2. Okay. Do you have any inserts? Of course you do. You've got 3. There's a job. And that is 1 day I cannot work. And did I get that one already? I think I did. Okay, now let's come down here to there, there, and finally the hunting cabin. What can we do for you? We can give you 2. I'm kind of seeing a pattern here where they're all going in the same direction. Yeah. Oh, it seems like 2 up, over 1, up 1. Okay. Well, anyway, didn't have to do it, but it looks nice. And you know what? Now we can just leave that area alone for now because they're doing their thing. Okay, we're starting to get more stone. We're starting to get more logs. Let's go ahead and open up the tree shack because that's going to make Marlene happy. Marlene's getting her tree shack. And I got to figure out which road is actually going to go up there. And I think it might be this one right out here. So normally I build these on some type of a road. And that doesn't look, oh my God, no, it's not going to line up. That would have been too perfect if that actually lined up. I can't see what I'm doing. There. Okay, there's the corner of this thing. So do 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 do. It's the doo-doo song. Sing along with me. You know what we might do? We might put this guy's residence right next to him and see where this road, maybe the road will come up to the residence. That way we're still keeping the nice square going. Or, you know what? Maybe not. Because I don't know what we're going to build here yet. I don't know what we're going to build yet. And until we can figure that out, we probably shouldn't put anything in. I don't think we need to go around this whole thing here, but we kind of framed it the best we can. 9 students now. Come on, somebody's got to be ready to graduate. Well, let's take a look. What's going on up here? 5 and 1, they're children. You've got a student, 17. Why should you have already been in the labor force? The numbers in MegaMod 9 are different than the numbers in the previous mods, because I believe at the age of 16 is when you become a laborer. You're already at 17, and that's interesting, but I'm not worried about it. They will eventually join the force. Yeah, we need to get them moved out. I wonder if we build more houses, if they'll move out. Because I have seen mods See, right here it says 11 and 11, so we're golden. But I have seen it where students will move out in other mods. So why don't we, you know what? I think the next house we're going to build is up here next to the tree shack. Tree shack, baby, tree shack, baby. Why don't we focus on this road coming up here? Or maybe come off of this down here. Okay, where is my, there's the end of it right there. Okay, that's kind of wonky. Nobody likes that. So I think what we might do is come to there. You know what? Not even. I'm not going to put a road in there until we can actually figure out what we're going to do. We might put a quarry or something in right over here to go with the mines. But right now, we don't need to concern ourselves with that. Another thing I probably want to start doing is getting some mills open so that we can do something with the corn and the oats. And that's actually, let me rephrase that. Let's start up here first. Pause. Our shack is going in. Are the shacks 4x4s or are they 3x3s? Now somebody is probably yelling at me answering that question. They are 4x4s. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put an, I don't want to put an angled house in. No, we're going to put a regular house in. But I'm going to give you guys a little treat here because this house out here is going to be the first house out of the Gothic set, I think. Should we do it? Should we do it? Remember I told you they take a lot of stone? See, we got the small house here that takes 4, it can have up to 4 people. Or you got this larger house here for 6 that uses a crap ton more of resources. What do we got? Roving? I don't do roving. And then again, somebody's telling me just stick with what we got going with the coven houses. You know what? We're going to do it. I'm actually going to go for the angled house up here because, gosh darn it, it just fits the theme so nicely. So we're going to grab the angled house, and actually, that's not my angle. Flip right there. Door is opening to the shack, and this is also a 4x4 footprint. So we're going to come up here, and we're going to go in like right there. Perfect. Come across, and I'm going to space it 1 just because I don't like to crowd my things. You know, there's no reason to crowd, especially if you're running a large map. So we're going to let them build that house straight out. Because even if the students don't move out, we got at least 1 ready to become a laborer. Shack is done. And look at that. There's our laborer right there. So let's go ahead and put 1 person in our shack. And no limit on logs. Boom. That should have just kicked our log production into overdrive. in a perfect world. Oh, are we running? No, now we are. Okay, I need to know what we're going to do in this area, though. Where does this ring of influence come down to? Right there? Well, normally what I like to do is, if that's my ring of influence right here, I will run the road at the bottom of this because that's telling me don't go any deeper than that. And I'm probably going to have to use my calibrated eyeball to see if I can make it up into... Okay, nope, got to go further over. And you know what? Maybe we will, because this is kind of wonky right there. Why don't we do that? Stop here. We'll come from here and go right to the ring of influence right there. Oh, we can go higher. That's interesting. Why don't we take it right to here for now so that we're not inside the ring? And I got to figure out where we're going to go with these. We may just come right down the middle. I think that's what we're going to do. Do. Or we can come off of this guy's front door. He's got that little front door right there, but actually it's not on an even area. Let's let him build that area first, and then we'll figure out where we're going to go. I'm probably going to come down the center. I don't know why. It's just something I do. We can already give them their roadage in the front. Like that. And this house had a couple inserts also. There's that. There's that. And let's go ahead and get these tree that, oh yeah, we can get that tree. Can we get that tree? There's a little bit of food over there. We got some bushy stuff over here. We got a tree over here we can pull out. Is that a tree? Yeah, that, okay. These are the two mills that we're going to put in. And I think I'm going to build those after this house gets done. Actually, they got the resources. Let's open up the two mills over here. And normally what I do is I put one on oats and I put the other one on corn, because that's what we're producing right here in the front. And we can always put a couple more houses over here if we needed to. I'm wondering if I had a barn here, a small barn. I'm not worried about it. I mean, like I said, this thing holds so much. Look at that. It's only 44% full. And look at these counts. 4,000, 9,000, 4,800. This thing holds a ton of stuff. Oh man, do I have the wrong house going in? Shoot. I got the wrong. It's not a big deal. It's only the angle of the A-frame that's bothering me. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. Dense tree shack. I'm going to hold off on putting somebody in until we get this house built. And since I boo-fooed it, let's go ahead and put a priority on it so they can get that thing tore down. That was my bad. Doggone it. It's all good though. Because right now my OCD is telling me to build all the frames in the same direction. And you know what? I never took out that one little piece of road right there either. Okay, well, how much more do they got to take out? 86, 90, perfect. There we go. Now let's get the right frame going in there. Angled house, that is the angle, and that is the frame that I want. So, boom, right there. Put her in. Perfect. Okay, and they'll build that. Okay, the two mills are done over here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my keep, and I'm going to look at my corn, and I'm going to look at my oats. So oats, I've got 2,400. Corn, I've almost got double. So what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to put both of them on corn. You're on corn. You're on corn. I don't think I'm putting anybody in right now. Oh, we got some laborers. Sure. Let's do this. Let's build some more stuff. First of all, let's get this barn going here, because that's going to save these people a couple steps that they would have to get into here. And because we're going to start making milling stuff, why not get a baker going? I wanted to get this guy up and running because of all the apples that we have. Okay, and I got 25. Oh, wow, we just had a lot of graduating people here. So what I need to do now is look at this again for the housing count. Okay, we need 3 houses. Does that include the one in the tree shack? No, there's 1. So 2 more homes are going in somewhere. Okay, why don't we start working our way down? You know what? I'm going to get more people in the node out here. So here's 1. Here's 2. And then we can kick up this workforce to a little bit higher. Where, you know what? We can put the smelter in over here. Now the smelter, I think, has a ring of ugliness, is what I like to call it. And if it's got a ring of ugliness, we might want to put it where we're not living. Now, do these things have, oh, yep, they got a single insert right in the front. Right in the front. Days of the week. My students will know what I'm talking about. Okay, for the rest of you, you're probably going to think that, oh my gosh, Grumpy just lost it. Okay, now we got cold people. Cold people are not as bad as hungry people. For some reason, the bannies in this game have no problem shacking up with other bannies, and so that they will climb into their bed to get warm. But for some reason, they will not feed each other when they get hungry. So go figure. They're all about the reproduction, but you're not going to get any You're not going to get any food out of them. It's every person for themselves. Every Banny for themselves. Okay, I guess we can finally put that little piece of road in that's missing right there, because it's kind of an eyesore. And why don't we already kick these? Oh, I did. Did I do it already? 2 of 4? Nope. 2, 2. I know we don't need 2 herbalists, but what the heck? We'll keep the balance going. I mean, normally I would put in probably an extra gatherer. As a matter of fact, that's what we're going to do. We don't need that many herbalists. I would much rather have another gatherer. Okay, everybody's moved in out here now. So I can actually go like that. 5. It's going to give me 4 more out here. And I'm going to have my 1 buffer. I don't know why I've got 2 of 2 here already. But you are now 3. You're going to stay 1. You're going up to 2. Do. I'm almost thinking we need to give these guys need some kind of firewood out here. Otherwise, they got to run over here and get it and then bring it back. I mean, they'll do it eventually. And I'm not really worried because, like I said, they're just going to shack up with somebody else and get warm. So, more power to them. Okay, this is built. We got somebody moved in. Guess what? We now have a dense tree person. Uh-oh, where did you go? Stop. Where did that person go? Nothing is built there. Did you guys go into a mine? 2, 1, no. My God, where did they go to? Well, let's look here. Forest. I think it's a forester. I could be mistaken. Here we go. 4, 4, 4. This is where I start rattling off numbers. 1, baker. I don't have a baker. We will get a baker here in a minute. Okay, 1, a brewer. Oh my God, it's already built? Awesome. No butchers yet. We don't have the labor force for that. 3 gatherers. 5 foresters. What the halibut is going on with that? No. 1, 2. There we go. Okay, we figured it out. That was scary. Now, who else wants a job? I got 4 people to play with. We were going to go ahead because we have so many apples. Why don't we get our tavern up and running, the Midnight Heart? Apples, are going to make some ale. Yes, please. And I need my buffer. There we go. Luxury limit? Nah, no limit on luxuries. And that's going to make everybody happy. Let's take a look at the baker. What can you bake now that you've got... No, wait, we don't have flour coming in yet. Not yet. And I need more laborers. So with the few laborers and builders that I have, let's open up some more things down here. Like, let's open up a tailor. Even though we don't need one, we're still using the buildings that come from the set. And to be honest with you, this butcher right here is about useless. It is. But you know what? We'll use it anyway. Maybe once we get a pasture put in, this butcher will pay for itself. Oh, there's a job. Nope, don't do TK. Rebecca Kelly. All right. That just sounds like somebody that I used to sub for in the past, but I don't do pre-K. So if that's her gig, then it wouldn't have been me. There's that. We can take this road, come across like that. Here's our main street. Why don't we take Main Street down to the bridge like that? And do I got a double road running through here? That's interessante. So I got a double road coming down the middle, and I got nothing between the two. Do we need more housing? See, I'm always going to, yeah, we need one house. I'm always going to try to stay on top of my housing. So let's go ahead and fill out our little district that we have down here. So we got a nice little group of 4. And then this is another group of 4. And then this is a final group of 4. Now, the only reason I would go outside of this area is if there was another place that we wanted to build up. And you know what? I'm thinking maybe this one. Just to keep this row here looking nice. Why don't we do that? Let's get this house built. Eventually, we're going to go in and put the inserts in, but we don't have to do that right now. That's going to go to there, and we'll run a road down the middle. I'm still happy with this build, that this is going so smoothly. You can see that this really took a lot of pre-planning to get this to where it's at right now. Now, what I was going to do was I was actually going to use the orchard foresters out here. And what I mean by that is if you go to this icon right here, the orchard foresters, you can specify what tree you want to grow. In this case, it's what fruit do you want to grow in your node. And there's also maple trees here if you want to make sugar. I opted for wild things for some reason, only because I kind of got that enchanted feel from Middle Earth, and that's kind of telling me that they can have a little bit of everything growing. And besides the farm plots that we put in over here, they produce enough of the one type of stuff that we don't need the forester nodes. Where's my inserts? I'm gonna find you. There you are. 2, and that's it. Just 2. Oh, how well are we doing? 39 stone. What does the cemetery need? 44. Let's do it. Let's get the cemetery under construction. Where can we pull more stones from? Those are pretty far away, but those might be the closest. We got one over here, a little straggler. Let's go ahead and grab the straggler. Boom. Oh, for some reason we can't. That's because the trading post is sitting on top of it. And the trading post is not a priority right now. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at something here. Why do you have a lighter roof than the rest of these? They must have come out of different sets. And I wonder if my orchard forester had a dark roof on it. And that was apples. Oh no, not that. Don't want that. I know what it was. This set right here was a weird set. It's like NC3 FC, something like that. And the forester came out of that set. So what I did is I replaced the forester that looked like these with a wild things forester. And I think I'm going to keep the wild things because that's going to get us all kinds of bizarre stuff that we may or may not need. So it's all good. Stones. Let's get some more stone action going. Give them a little help in the node. We can clear out some of the stuff. So why don't we start up at the road and go south to there. Oh, there's one more. Okay, we'll pull those. And now let's come here, start at the road and go north and pull those. Oh, we got some stones against the rocks. Let's go to here and grab those. All right, where are we going next? I know if we started smelting some of the iron, if we started smelting some of that iron ore, we could should we cross the river? Something's telling me yes, we should cross the river. We got these resources that we can pull out. We should probably also get a fisherman put in. Why don't we get a fisherman put in too? So that way we get some fish into our diet. So we're going to open up this fish thing over here. Oh my God, the cemetery is done. Let's open up the fishing thing, the fishing dock. And I'm going to open up this little small shed here, which is where the fisherman can dump his fish in. So he or she does not need to go all the way to the old castle. Let's check out the cemetery in all of its majesty. There we go. Wow, two-tone. We got black bricks or black stone on top of a what almost looks like a cinder block or probably more of a marble type roof. And this should actually bring some happiness. Yeah, see the ring that it produced? That is a ring of happiness. And it actually captured some of our houses over here. It actually captured all of these houses. So that worked out well. 44 graves. Perfect. And we have not even had our first death yet. Wow. That's awesome. Okay, fishing dock is done. We do have laborers. Let's go ahead and throw a fisherman in. And then do we need housing? Because if we need housing, I'm going to open up this one so the fishermen can live right there. We need 2 houses. Check that out. Awesome. So I'm going to open one house down here. And that's where the fisherman is going to live. and maybe entertain the idea of going across the river. Or should we do some more stuff here? Let's finish this area over here. Let's get this one open right here. There we go. And this is what I mean where you got, I'm constantly on my houses. There's that. Are you really 5 across? No, right there. Boom. I think as soon as they get this house built, we're going to go ahead and throw in the fisherman here, or fisherwoman. There we go. And let's go ahead and do we want to put in 1 or 2? Let's go for 2 for now. And in a perfect world, they're both going to move in right here. Well, there's our students that are moving in, and we got a worker. It's kind of weird because you would expect them to both be fisher people. Let's find out what happens when they join the labor force. So we'll keep an eye on this house to see if it actually changes, or maybe they'll change their profession. All right. What else do we have going on down here that we can populate? Do, 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 do. Should we put the church in? The church is intense. It's this big thing. Cathedral of the Wicked. Boo. Yeah, look at this. 88 stone. 54 logs, and 142 build. Marlene, you wanted to go big. We're going big. I am almost going to say let's do it. Because we basically got everything here built. Sure. Let's build up our... We did that. We just did that. Let's build this area up. I think at this point in time, since I've got 3 up here and we got this down here, let me drop 2 more here until this thing gets built. And then once this thing gets built, we'll put a cleric in. And I can see that I need firewood. What's going on with our, oh my gosh, our dense tree shack. You know what I did not do? I did not, stop, pause. I didn't give them a stockpile. Shoot. Ow, and my arm is hurting now. Oh my God. Okay. Instead of running the stockpiles through the node, I'm going to look at the ring of influence here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on these corners the stockpiles. So for instance, this one here can have a, and should we do logs only? I think so. I only want logs in this stockpile. So there's a 4x3. There's a 4x4. I think we're going to need 4x4. I'm going to start small. I'm going to go 3x3 for now. And the reason I want to go 3 by 3 is because I want to try to get that same side. And I wanted to put a road around it too. No, that's useless. Let's 4 by 4. I don't believe I did not catch that sooner. We're doing logs only. Four by 4. Boom. And then over here, we got to figure out where we're going to go. So I need a creek plank bridge. So we're going to go to bridges. We're going to go to, am I in the right place? Bridge crossing. I think bridge crossings. No. Here. No. Here. Yes. There we go. Wooden bridges. This one here is the creek plank. And we're going to take you. Oh my God, we cannot cross the creek right there. Are you serious? Okay, let's come back. No, wow, that is weird. Oh, no, 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 no. Something is not happy there. You, my friend, are going to make me grumpy. Do we want to flatten that one point there? I'm going to do it. I'm going to flatten this and then try to build my bridge on top of that. So where's Grumpy? Here he is. Flatten that. Now this is not a guaranteed fix. This is just an I hope it works. Nope. Where are my bridges? Okay, so my issue is not on this side. My issue is on this side over here. And you know what? I really don't need to get up into that corner right there. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to take the road as far as we can go, which is actually right to there. And then whatever I can get in for a stockpile here, we're going to do it. So let's go ahead and grab another stockpile for logs only. And there's that. Can I go up and over 3 by 3? No. Okay, come over 1. 3 up. 3 across. Boom. Okay, so that's what it's letting me do. And you know what? I'm good with that. That's good. Let's move. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna leave my arm stretched out here for a second. Okay. Okay, now they're starting to fill it. Yeah, God knows what they were doing before. And you know what we might actually do out here? I don't need another firewood cutter because we got this person out here. Why don't we open up the third mine? Because I'm seeing we're also not getting any stone and we're not getting any iron. We could probably benefit from a woodcutter out here in this area. I'm just trying to figure out right now how I want to put, where I want to put those woodcutters. We may just use the one that we have over here. Okay, if I was going to draw a straight line from here to here, there, and then I'm going to hit my mine. Will you go all the way across? Yes, you will. Boom, put you in. You, my friend, are going to come down to there. And then that gives us a little area to work with right there. You know what? I should not have done that. Because we might, remember I was saying we might put a smelter or something in? The only problem with putting a smelter in right there is the ring of influence is going to, it's going to hit those houses and the mills, and that's not going to make anybody happy. So, with that said, I think it is to our best interest to go across the river and start getting some smelting, get some industry going. Um, this road here, I'm actually going to take it out because we might need something that's going to butt up into the mountain. And yeah, what are the chances that this is going to run right up to there? That would be too perfect. Oh my gosh. We are awesome. Thank you for making that work out. And do you have inserts? You got an insert. Perfect. Where are we looking? Okay, let's do another housing check because we want to keep on top of our houses. And we need another house. So you know what? I think it, oh my gosh, we're also hurting for firewood. This is not good. So basically stop building, and any logs that we get need to go into firewood at this point. So I'm actually going to take my little Celtic chopper right here, and I'm going to put this guy back to work again. Uh-oh, where did he go? Oh, he must have gone here. And you're going to make firewood also. Wow, we've only got a few houses that still have any warmth in them. And I am not about to freeze anybody to death. Let's go ahead and get some more logs. You know where I'm going to start clearing is down here. So let's come across, and why don't we grab a swath? Why don't we use this as a border, come down and do a clear cut going across this way. So, and because we need all resources, I'm going to focus on all. I know I should have done only logs, but we're going to need all of them. Let's do it. And you know what? Just so they don't have to carry everything across, I'm going to go ahead and give them a stockpile over here. So we're going to have a little bit of road coming down. Why don't we come down 5 or 6 here? And maybe build a little 5 by something stockpile right there. There's that, there's that, there's that. And I should probably be checking my time here shortly too. So let's come down 5 and go over 3. That should be a nice stockpile right there. And we might want to do the same thing over here. I've got my fishing dock right there. I don't know if I'm going to flip here for a minute. Flipping. Flip, 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 flip. I don't think I leveled this. I think it still has that lip. So let's go ahead and grab the happy flattener and come in. Yeah, see how it drops down? 1, 2, 3. Oh, and it came up right away. And there's our first death. And it was from a weak heart. Oh no. Parley's the fisherman had a weak. You know what I'll bet he did? I'll bet he hooked into something huge. And that thing just took him all over the place. And he said, oh my God, how am I going to get this thing in? And then the thing made a mad run, maybe up the river. And his little heart just got so excited that, oh my God, poor guy. Poor guy. All right, here we go. I don't think I can come 6 into this one. So let's see how far in we can come. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, see, I'm hitting the... Okay, we'll come in 3. We can still make that work. Come on, autosave. There we go. And where am I going to put my... I got to put stockpile on this side. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab stockpile, stockpile, stockpile. There's that. Come down 1. And now can we come across 2? No, we can't. But if we came 1 more down, we can come down 2. I'm debating, do we want to go? Let's do a 3 by 5 over here again too. 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Boom. Put it in. Okay. Good, 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 good. Well, we did have somebody that could. So Parley's, the fisherman, died. Dean, oh my God, what a name. They actually gave us a real name here. Replaced Parley's as the fisher person. We still have our 1 buffer right here. And we've got the 5 builders that we're still working with. I think I'm going to put a priority on the stockpile because I don't want them running all the way back into town while they're taking resources away when they can simply drop them right here in the stockpile. I'm going to check our timer here. See, 9 more minutes. We can do 9 more minutes. I'm going to flipping back for perspective. Flipping. Flip, 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 flip. Now, the industry area that we've got over here, there's not a lot. I've got the 3 shacks that I showed you earlier. We have coal over here. And the reason I put coal here is because we're losing a little bit of the node into this mountain. And coal out of these 3 is probably the least I need in production. And then we've got, I think this is stone and this is iron ore, which might get changed to iron. I'm kind of leaning towards doing that, only because this is really killing us here. And I don't want to over micromanage our people. So yeah, this is probably going to become an iron shack. not iron ore. Do 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 do. And I need to start getting some houses in this area. But I really wish they would clear some of these resources first so we can actually see where we're building. So you guys, yeah, need to clear some resources for me. At least take this swath out right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the nodes off of here to see where I'm going to run a road this way just so I can line this guy up with these again. Like that. I know this is going to be the most unnecessary thing that I need to do right now. But I'm going to go ahead and take my road and already come down all the way to where I can't because I got stuff I'm taking out. Ah, nuts. Well, if they take that one piece out right there, one piece. If you guys haven't started watching One Piece yet, don't start. There's over 1,000 episodes. It'll take you 5 years to catch up. Oh, here comes the snow. Do 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 do. And you can kind of see the outline of our tunnel right there too. We are a nudist colony right now. Ha! You know what? Okay, let's check our keep here. Are we making leather? Are we getting any leather into production? Or I should say, what can we make clothing from? There's our leather, almost 800. Do we have wool? Let's go by name. Wool. Wool's going to be at the bottom. No. So we can't do that. Do we have reeds and feathers? So feathers. EF16. That's all. Okay, let's go to hide coats. So where's my tailor? Right there. Hide coats? Yes. We need a tailor. Start making us some clothing. And oh my god, I need a buffer. No, not the brewer. There we go. I got a buffer. What else do we need? Oh my god, are we going to hit a 50 population before this episode ends? 50 population in 3 hours. The keep. What am I looking? I want my housing check. And oh my god. Oh, dude or dudess. Amaron. No, it's one bold. Bold one. Amar. Amar one bold. Is that right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. And welcome to Grumpy Gnome Gaming. Yeah, this is a new build that we're doing here. And I guess I can give you a walk through the whole thing if you missed the beginning. So right here, we see that we need 4 homes. So you know what? I'm almost wondering if we should just open these up here. I think we will. And then use these people to walk over the bridge and start fish. There you are. It is Amarun. Okay. Amar1. Amarone. But thanks for the warm. Yeah. No, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Oh, doggone it. That was cool. I wasn't expecting that in the last minute, but I'm glad you dropped by. Yeah, basically, this is a little play on Middle Earth here. I'm going to give you a quick... I'm going to let them run while we do this. Watch everybody die now. And since I know we need 4 houses, I'm going to open you. So you're going to get opened. You're going to get opened. There's 2. And let's get 2 more from the lower part here. 1, 2. And then that way, these guys live in here can already start in the industrial area here. Now, for you, here we go. Give you the guided tour. First thing we're going to look at is the map. So here we got the map, the map. So this is kind of a play on Middle Earth. I wanted something where I can bring different races in. And so this big, huge mountain range right here, these are my Misty Mountains. Down here in this corner, southeast, this is Mordor. And there are actually a couple lakes down in the Mordor area. If you go north, you get into the Elven Lorien Forest up here. So this is going to be where the elves are going to be hanging out. If you go to the west of the elves, you got the Mines of Moria, which is going to be right here in this area where the dwarves are. So we got the dwarves, we've got the elves, we got something quirky going here for the orcs and goblins. Isengard is probably going to be somewhere down here. And then I'm going to fill up the center, this area here and this area here, with humans. So we have Gondor over here, we got Rohan up here, and then this area here is going to be the Shire, where we got the hobbits. The cool thing about MegaMod 9 is we actually have mods for all of these. So if you go into your mod selection, this one here is your hobbits, where you can build the Hobbit Shire. Down here somewhere are the elves, and then the dwarves are right here, the Forge of the Dwarves. And don't make me find the elves. It's going to be something fantasy and fairy-ish, so it might be these right here. But we'll have them when we get to them. Yeah, so this is really going to... And I want to blow it up. Oh my God, Eliza, welcome back. Gosh, I missed you. Welcome back. Well, I don't know if you got the gist of this. You probably saw what I pointed out here with hobbits, elves, and dwarves. What else do you need to know? The map seed. Okay, map seed is here. And there's my 3-hour timer. So what we're doing, I'm calling this place Middle Earth because it is a play on Middle Earth. I actually use this to spell out Tolkien. So I'm kind of honoring Tolkien. So T is the 20th letter of the alphabet. The K is the 12th letter. No, Tol. T-O-L. L is the 12th. K is the 11th. And then we're going to the end where the N is. So Tolkien, if you want to do it. I wanted something that's going to give me mountains for the Misty Mountain area and the mountains of Mordor and stuff. And I also needed ground where I can build, so I chose valleys. I went with a large map only because there was no way we can fill an extra large. The temperate climate is leaning a little more to the colder side. I would say this is probably one step colder from marine. Disasters are on because I'm just into punishment and I love to punish myself. And then my starting conditions are from the Colonial Charter. And I did the Old Castle hard because we wanted something very large as our starting base. That's the whole play on the go big or go home thing. As you can tell right now, we've got a little bit of a warmth crisis. But as we have seen, my bannies have no problem shacking up with each other. So basically, if there's a bed, if there's room, they'll climb in it. And hope that didn't wig out too many kids. And what I want to do here is I wanted to line up a road across the nodes. And the reason I'm doing this is so that I can build this offline. So that way when we come back for episode number 2, oh, nuts. Okay, we'll jump it. You'll go to there. And then we're going to skip that and go to there. Come across. And are you going to take me all the way? You are going to take me all the way. Right there. Boom. Okay. And what that's going to let me do now, I should actually have dropped one down off to the side here. So I'll know exactly where to place this guy. Where's my road? Right there. I'm actually going to put one little... Actually, no, you know what? We'll just put 3 right there. Boom. So I can take out the iron ore shack, and I'm actually going to go straight iron because iron right now is a crisis for us, and I want to get that in. I won't do it now in this episode because we're ready to close up. But anyway, that's that. I did do a little bit of clearing down here to get some more logs into our inventory because if they have logs, they can make firewood. And I want to get my smelter up and running, which is this thing. Actually, that's not it, but this is it right here, the foundry, because the foundry is going to get us the smelted iron ore into iron. The only problem is I don't have lumber. So I got to wait for my lumber yard over here to get everybody warmed up. And you know what? We're almost there. We are almost warm. So I am going to kick you over to... Oops, I don't have hardwood. I am going to kick you over to lumber. And hopefully this thing will produce enough lumber to get this going. That's cool. They really cleared this area rather quickly. As a matter of fact, I'm even going to take this as far as the road. Let's come across to this way. Bring it down to the road level, which is right there, and clear all that out. I did see that I clipped this up here, but I'm not worried about it because we do have access to that area. We can get to it. All right, so that is episode 1 of Middle Earth. This was by the suggestion of Marlene and Jane Doe, Farmer Jane Doe. Eliza, I would have really liked to have gotten some input from you as to what you would like to see in this build. So if you want to drop me a comment on what you think we should put in here. And Amaron, there's kind of a little Spanish twist on it. If you feel sociable and you would like to leave a comment, and if you plan to come back, what would you like to see? What would your input be for this Middle Earth on what we can include in it? Because I'm all about using the viewers to kind of guide me in the direction that they want to see it go. And it also creates dialogue for us, and we get to know each other a little bit better. But by golly, Miss Molly, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. I am also on Facebook and Discord, and I do put my videos on YouTube. So just Grumpy Gnome Gaming, do your search for it. You're also going to find Grumpy Gnome Fishing. So if you've got any fisher people in your family, you know what? We can get them hooked on that. And I'm trying to think, what do I want to do now? Do I want to do the shacks? I have no idea, okay, even what this game existed until 20 minutes ago. All right, well, the game is called Banished. Believe it or not, you can get that. You'll never do two games the same here. It is a very simple, I'm going to put an emphasis here. It's a simple city builder. It's all gridded. You can see that. But it's a very strategic game. There's more strategy in keeping your people alive than there is in actually building. It's not like Anno, where you just, how many buildings can we group together? And this is more about aesthetics and what works. And there is so much out there for this game. It's ridiculous. You can pick this game up for $6 on Steam. And I would probably say if you like city builders and resource management, it'll be the best $6 you ever spent. And unlike other city builders, this one does not have enemies. You're not attacked by any enemy races or by monsters. So you are focused on just keeping your city alive and growing. I also got a lot of other videos out there. Let me go ahead and do the word from my sponsor, which is me. And I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. So if you're watching me on Twitch, please hit the follow button. If you're watching me on YouTube, please hit subscribe. If you do either of those things, please tell 10 of your family, friends, and pets about my channels. Plural, there's Grumpy Gnome Fishing. If you don't know 10 family, friends, and pets, tell 5 of them twice. If you don't know 5 family, friends, and pets, go out, buy yourself a space hamster. Name that space hamster Boo. If you get the reference, leave a comment below. If you don't get the reference, watch my Baldur's Gate stream, and you will know what we're talking about. I'm also on Discord at Grumpy Gnome Gaming. And I think that just about does it. I'm Grumpy Gnome. I'm out of here. Thank you so much again for joining. And we will hopefully see you in the next one. I don't know when it's going to be, but hopefully you'll get notified. I'm Grumpy Gnome. I'm out of here. 5, 4, 3. Thanks again. Bye-bye.